Today I'm on tilt about the Edge magazine's story that the next Xbox will require always-on internet to function. I'd like to hear whether you're looking forward to the next generation or if this kind of thing is a deal breaker. But first, my opinion, and this one runs a little over my usual 3 minutes. I'm Tarmack and this is Feature Creep. Well, it looks like it's true. Edge magazine, a rather prolific and credible print magazine and gaming site, is confirming that Microsoft's next Xbox console will not function without an active internet connection. And since Sony has the RFID chip on disk patent filed, that means Xbox consumers get to deal with either the wonders of activation codes for everything, or something else new and mysterious. Maybe the Kinect has been upgraded from worthless to being able to do facial recognition. GameStop, it's time for you to get off your ass and legally challenge the right of first sale with regard to video game licenses for us. I can guarantee a substantial increase in revenue if you do. I was starting to get excited by the performance rumors of the next-gen systems. The announcements and subsequent releases were supposed to be a Tychus "it's about time" kind of moment. New games, better everything, PC no longer being held back at least for a short while, but alas, my hope was in vain. My view is quite simply this. No company has the right to tell me when, where, or how I use a product that I purchased from them. No game developer, despite how clever their lawyers are in trying to turn video games from products into licenses, has the right to deny me access to the game for any reason at any time. Period. Now, I've heard a few counter-arguments and I'd like to address them. Some have said, what's the big deal? You already have an internet connection. This proved to be an invaluable argument during the launch outages of a number of Ubisoft's authentication servers not all that long ago. The same thing happened to Diablo 3. In fact, there was enough of a problem that Ubi backed off of its crazy treat the customers as thieves DRM. Any new console that launches with an always-on requirement can expect and deserve a great deal of hate when opening day isn't as smooth as they would otherwise wish. That said, yes, I do have an always-on internet connection. However, you have now introduced another potential point of failure into my leisure time for no reason other than your bottom line. The single only exception are games that by their very design necessitate online access, such as an MMO, or online competitive games like Hawk and Tribes, etc., most of which are free to play now anyways. And what about gaming history? I have quite a few consoles: Wii U, Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, the original Nintendo, and an Atari 2600. They all work. You might have to blow in the goddamn Nintendo cartridge, but it still works. I can load up games made before most Call of Duty players were born. Gaming history is preserved and great games can still be played this way. It links in well with the SimCity Online. Yes, I know that online isn't in the title, but let's call it what it is. I'll bet any one of you that people will still be playing the first SimCity game when SimCity Online gets shut down. To follow that logic, what happens if one of these major hardware manufacturers overextends themselves like THQ did? Or the simple passage of time and a generation or two down the road they decide it's not profitable anymore? But you hypocrite, you have a computer with Steam on it. That requires an internet connection. Yeah, you're right. And the Steam offline mode is pretty terrible. But you know what I can do on PC if Steam shuts down? I can crack every game I own, and it's a heck of a lot simpler than console mod chips. Look, the reason that this is being done is to fight piracy and kill used game sales, more so the latter than the former. These big bad companies couldn't strike a deal with GameStop, and so they're going for the customer jugular instead. It's an interesting situation to me because Microsoft is in the business of providing GameStop and others the products that they sell. I wonder if a deal couldn't have been reached advising GameStop that unless it gave a portion of used sales, it would not receive new release titles. With the move to digital, it's not much of a stretch to think that they might just take such a deal to preserve their income source. That and people buy what they can afford. Killing used sales isn't going to make people buy just as many new games if used was all they could afford before. Unfortunately, if this continues, I'll be sitting this console generation out. Is the always-on internet connection issue not as important to you? Or will you sit it out too if they don't get their act together? Let me know in the comments. That's all I have to say. Tarmack out.